Your focus is the key that unlocks your future success. Right now, you're standing at the crossroads of your life, distracted by everything around you, but ready to take control. Imagine a world where every decision you make is laser-focused, where your energy is channeled directly into what matters most, and where the distractions that once drained you are completely eliminated. Sounds like the life you want, right? This audiobook is for those who are done with the noise, ready to silence the chaos, and take real, powerful steps toward their goals. It's time to stop letting the world dictate where your attention goes. It's time for you to decide what deserves your focus, and more importantly, what doesn't. In the next few minutes, we're going to unlock strategies that will help you not only cut out the distractions, but build a lifestyle of focus that leads to lasting success. So if you're ready to take control and make your dreams happen, keep watching. This isn't just another motivational speech. It's the first step toward a life where what truly matters becomes crystal clear. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The noise around you, recognizing the distractions. We all know that feeling, when you're ready to get to work, to take action, but something keeps pulling you away. It's like the world is shouting at you from all sides, each distraction louder than the last, and before you know it, hours have passed with nothing to show for it. The truth is, the noise around us isn't just some background hum. It's designed to capture your attention, to steal your focus, and in many ways keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction. But here's the thing, you don't have to let it control you. The noise can be cut out. Your focus can be reclaimed. And when you do, you'll find that the key to success and personal growth has always been right in front of you. Every day, we're bombarded with distractions. From the moment we wake up, it's a flood of notifications, emails, calls, and requests. And that's just the external noise, the things outside of you trying to demand your attention. But what about the internal noise? The worries, the doubts, the constant chatter of "Am I doing enough? Is this the right choice?" That noise is just as real, if not more powerful. It can stop you in your tracks before you even start. So the question is, how do you deal with it? How do you recognize it for what it is, and push through it to focus on what truly matters? It starts with awareness. You can't conquer something you don't see, and you can't cut out noise if you don't know it's there. Right now, think about the last time you tried to get something important done. Maybe you were working on a project, trying to improve a skill, or just simply trying to take care of yourself, and something got in the way. It could have been your phone lighting up with a new notification, a coworker stopping by for a chat, or even your own mind wandering to a worry or a random thought. The distractions are endless, but when you can identify them, that's when the power lies with you. Recognizing the distractions is the first step. It's understanding what is pulling your focus away from your goals and your purpose. And it's more than just the obvious things like a noisy environment or a social media alert. It's the subtle things too, the small habits we form without even thinking. Checking your phone every 5 minutes, scrolling through an endless feed of updates, watching a show to relax, but in reality, zoning out completely. These things steal your time, and more importantly, your energy. They don't just take up your time in the moment, they leave a lasting impact on your ability to focus later. It's like a muscle that gets weaker with every interruption. But once you see the distractions, once you understand what's truly pulling you away, you gain the ability to change. You gain the power to regain control over your time and your attention. You can begin to make a choice. Do you allow the noise to continue running your life, or do you turn down the volume and focus on what matters? The external distractions are often easy to spot. They're the things that demand your immediate attention, your phone buzzing, someone talking to you, the TV running in the background. These are the things we usually think about when we talk about distractions, but the internal distractions are where the real battle lies. They're the ones that creep into your thoughts and often go unnoticed. Worrying about the future, overthinking past events, comparing yourself to others, these are the distractions that can derail your focus without you even realizing it. And when your mind is constantly jumping from one thought to another, it becomes nearly impossible to focus on the task at hand. Now imagine for a moment what your life could look like if you cut out these distractions. What if you could eliminate the noise around you and channel your focus toward what really matters? What if you could start each day with a sense of purpose, knowing exactly where your energy needs to go? You'd start making progress. You'd start creating, growing and achieving in ways you never thought possible. The truth is, every person has this ability within them. It's not a matter of luck or chance, it's a matter of choice. And once you decide to take control of your focus, you'll start to see just how much more you're capable of. But it's not easy. The world is built on distractions. It's designed to keep you occupied, to keep your attention fragmented. And it's easy to fall into the trap of responding to every beep, every buzz, every call. But here's what successful people understand. Your ability to focus is your greatest asset. When you can cut out the noise, you create space for real productivity, for deep work, for meaningful results. You start to move in the direction of your goals with purpose and intent. So how do you start? It's about taking control of your environment, your thoughts and your habits. You have to create boundaries. Set limits on the things that can distract you. That means putting your phone on silent when you need to focus, choosing not to engage in conversations that drain your energy, and learning to say no to things that don't align with your purpose. It also means taking care of your mind, practicing mindfulness, focusing on the present moment, and training yourself to let go of negative or distracting thoughts. It's about building a habit of focus that becomes second nature. The process begins with small steps. It's about saying no to the things that aren't serving you, and saying yes to the things that matter. Every time you say no to a distraction, you're saying yes to your focus. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes. It's like building a muscle. At first it's hard, it feels unnatural, but with time you'll start to notice the difference. Your productivity will increase, your clarity will improve, and most importantly, you'll feel in control again. The noise won't seem so overwhelming anymore. You'll be able to see through the distractions and focus on what truly matters to you. In the end, it's not about eliminating every distraction or removing every external noise from your life. That's impossible. It's about recognizing when it's happening and taking deliberate action to regain your focus. It's about deciding that your time, your attention, and your energy are too valuable to be wasted on things that don't matter. And when you make that decision, you take the first step toward living a life of purpose, clarity, and growth. When you cut out the noise, you give yourself the gift of focus. And that's when your life starts to change. You'll find yourself moving toward your goals faster. You'll feel more aligned with your true desires, and you'll begin to experience the sense of fulfillment that comes from living in harmony with your own purpose. The distractions won't go away, but your ability to focus will become your superpower. And once you tap into that, nothing can stop you. Chapter 2. Understanding your priorities. You have the power to control what happens in your life. Every single day is an opportunity to decide where you place your energy and how you choose to spend your time. The world will always try to pull you in a million different directions. People will ask for your attention, and life will throw distractions your way, but when you make a decision to focus on what truly matters, that's when your life will begin to shift in profound ways. Understanding your priorities is the first step in reclaiming your time, your energy, and your life. It's easy to get caught up in the noise around you, the demands of others, the things you think you should be doing, the expectations that come from society, from friends, from family. The problem is that most of the time, we live our lives based on what other people think is important. We run after things that we believe will bring us happiness or success, but deep down, we know that something is missing. The reality is that we've never taken the time to define what truly matters to us. And until we do, we'll continue chasing after goals that don't align with our true purpose, never feeling satisfied, always feeling like something is slipping through our fingers. So how do you take control of this? How do you move from the endless cycle of distraction and frustration to a place where your focus is sharp and your goals feel clear? It begins with understanding your priorities. What are the things that really matter to you? Not the things society tells you should matter, not the things other people are doing, but what genuinely aligns with your deepest values and desires. Take a moment to reflect on that. If you're like most people, your list might be filled with the usual suspects: work, family, health, success. But the truth is, your priorities are unique to you, and they will shift depending on where you are in life and what you truly care about. The question is not whether your priorities are right or wrong, but whether they are yours. Are you living according to someone else's script, or are you living according to your own? This is where it gets powerful. Once you understand what truly matters to you, everything begins to change. No longer will you feel torn in a million directions, because you'll have a clear sense of direction. When you know your priorities, you can make decisions with confidence, knowing that every choice you make will either move you closer to your goals or pull you further away. And that is the kind of clarity that transforms lives. Now, I'm not saying it will be easy. The world won't suddenly stop throwing distractions at you. People will still ask for your time, and the pressure to be everything to everyone will still exist. But when you know what matters to you, those things won't seem so overwhelming. You'll be able to set boundaries and say no to things that don't serve you. You'll be able to say yes to what will move you forward. And more than anything, you'll stop questioning your choices. You'll stop second-guessing yourself, because you'll have built a foundation of clarity and purpose. Understanding your priorities doesn't mean abandoning the things that are important to you, like family or work. It means taking the time to define them for yourself. It means choosing what truly resonates with your heart and soul and aligning your actions with that vision. If family is your priority, then spend time with them intentionally. If your health is your priority, then take steps every day to nourish your body and mind. If your career is important to you, put in the work and focus on what will propel you forward in your field. But whatever you do, make sure it's driven by your own values and not someone else's. One of the keys to living a fulfilling life is learning how to set boundaries. When you don't have clear priorities, you allow others to dictate your time. And this is one of the greatest traps we fall into. We say yes to things we don't really want to do because we don't want to disappoint others or because we feel obligated. But that only leads to burnout, frustration, and resentment. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being selfish. It means you're respecting your own time, energy, and goals. It means you're protecting your ability to focus on the things that truly matter to you, so that you can show up as your best self in all areas of your life. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no to others, it's also about saying no to yourself. We all have those moments when we know we should be working on our goals, but we get distracted by something else, a new show, a mindless scroll through social media, or an unproductive conversation. It's easy to give in to those distractions, but when you understand your priorities, you can resist them. You can remind yourself that your time is valuable and that you've chosen to invest it in things that align with your values. And the more you practice this, the stronger your ability to stay focused becomes. Living with purpose and clarity also means being intentional with your time. Every day is a choice. We all have the same 24 hours, but it's how we use them that makes the difference. If you want to focus on what truly matters, you have to make time for it. This means being proactive about scheduling your day, setting aside time for your most important tasks, and making sure that distractions don't creep in. This also means being okay with letting go of things that no longer serve you. You don't need to do it all, and you certainly don't need to do it all at once. Once you've identified your priorities and set boundaries, it's time to take action. This is where the magic happens. Focus is not just about thinking about what matters to you, it's about doing something about it. You've created the space for focus, now you need to fill it with intentional action. This is where discipline comes in. It's the daily commitment to your goals, the small steps you take every single day that lead you toward the life you truly want. The beauty of understanding your priorities is that it gives you the confidence to make decisions without regret. When you know what matters most to you, the rest becomes easier. You don't have to say yes to everything or try to please everyone. You can say no with conviction, knowing that you're staying true to yourself and your vision. And when you make decisions from this place of clarity, you'll find that your life becomes more aligned, more focused and more fulfilling. At the end of the day, life is about choices. When you take the time to define what truly matters to you and make that your guiding principle, you'll begin to feel a sense of peace and satisfaction that comes from living in alignment with your true values. You'll stop chasing after things that don't bring you happiness, and you'll start building a life that is rich with meaning and purpose. The distractions won't disappear, but your ability to cut through them and stay focused on what matters will give you the clarity and strength to succeed in everything you do. And that, my friend, is how you take control of your life. That is how you focus on what really matters. Chapter 3. The Power of Saying No. You have the power to transform your life, and it all begins with one simple but incredibly powerful word. If you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, you must learn the art of saying no. It's not just about refusing things that don't align with your goals. It's about making a choice to protect your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. Saying no is the key that unlocks the door to greater focus, deeper fulfillment, and unstoppable progress. We live in a world where everyone is asking for our attention. The demands are endless, and if you're not careful, you'll end up saying yes to everything and everyone, except the things that truly matter to you. The constant noise can be overwhelming. People want your time, your resources, your energy, and they often don't care if it comes at the cost of your dreams. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos, to give in to the pressure to please others, to be everything for everyone. But the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot be all things to all people, and trying to do so will only leave you exhausted, unfulfilled and frustrated. When you learn to say no, you're not being selfish or rude. You're being smart, strategic, and true to yourself. Saying no is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you value your time and your energy. It's a powerful boundary that protects your most precious resource, yourself. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your higher purpose, you're saying yes to something greater. You're choosing to focus on what truly matters. But let's be real, saying no is hard. It's uncomfortable, and it's often met with resistance. We've been conditioned to believe that saying yes is the right thing to do, that being helpful, agreeable, and accommodating is a sign of being a good person. But this mindset keeps us stuck in a cycle of overcommitment, burnout, and resentment. The truth is, saying yes to everything means you're saying no to your own priorities. You're sacrificing your dreams for the comfort of others, and when you do that, you lose yourself along the way. It's time to break free from that cycle. It's time to reclaim your power by saying no to things that drain your energy and no to the things that pull you away from your purpose. The first step is recognizing that you don't owe anyone anything except yourself. You owe it to yourself to live a life that aligns with your values and your vision. You owe it to yourself to create space for the things that will bring you joy, fulfillment, and success. And that means saying no to anything that doesn't contribute to those things. But how do you say no? It's not always easy, especially when you're afraid of disappointing others or feeling guilty. The key is to get clear on your priorities. When you know what truly matters to you, saying no becomes much easier. When you're crystal clear on your goals and values, it's much easier to evaluate whether a request or commitment aligns with your path. If it doesn't, the answer is simple: no. And remember, no doesn't have to be rude or harsh. You can say no with grace and kindness, but still be firm in your decision. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your choice. Your time is yours to protect. Imagine how much freer you'd feel if you stopped saying yes to things that drain you, that take away from your focus, that distract you from your mission. Think about all the time you'd have to dedicate to the things that matter most to you: your goals, your health, your relationships, your personal growth. Think about how much more focused and productive you'd be if you weren't constantly juggling requests and obligations that have nothing to do with your dreams. Saying no is your ticket to living a life of purpose and intentionality. But let's take this a step further. Saying no isn't just about refusing external demands, it's also about saying no to your own inner distractions. We all have that voice in our heads that tells us to procrastinate, to scroll mindlessly through social media, to put things off until tomorrow. That voice convinces us that the easy, comfortable option is the right one. But that voice isn't your friend, it's your enemy, and it will keep you stuck in the same cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. The moment you recognize that voice for what it is, you can say no to it. You can silence it and choose to take action instead. Every time you say no to that inner voice of resistance, you strengthen your discipline, your focus, and your resolve. Saying no also means setting boundaries with the people around you. It means having the courage to protect your time, your energy, and your peace, even if it disappoints others. It's okay to say no to a friend who wants to chat when you know you need to work on your goals. It's okay to say no to a family member who asks for your time when you're already committed to something important. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person who values their own time and respects their own commitments. You can be kind, loving, and supportive while also being firm about what you can and cannot do. But here's the real power in saying no: it frees you up to say yes to the things that matter most. Saying no to distractions, to people who drain your energy, and to commitments that don't align with your goals gives you the space to say yes to your dreams. It allows you to focus on what truly brings you joy, what lights you up, and what will move you closer to the life you want to create. Every no is a yes to something greater. Every time you choose to say no, you are choosing to invest in your future, in your success, and in your well-being. So how do you start practicing the art of saying no? The first step is to get clear on your values and your goals. What do you want to achieve? What matters most to you? Once you have that clarity, the next step is to evaluate each request or commitment that comes your way. Does it align with your values and your goals? If the answer is no, then don't be afraid to say no. And when you say no, do it with confidence. Don't apologize or justify your decision. You are in control of your life, and you get to decide how you spend your time and energy. It's not about being selfish, it's about being intentional. It's about choosing to prioritize your dreams and your goals over the demands of others. It's about protecting your peace and your focus so that you can give your best to the things that truly matter. When you learn to say no, you'll discover a new sense of freedom and power. You'll find that your life becomes more aligned with your purpose, and you'll start making progress toward your dreams in ways you never thought possible. Saying no is one of the most liberating, empowering, and life-changing skills you can develop. So start today. Say no to what doesn't serve you, and say yes to the life you truly deserve. Chapter 4. Eliminating mental clutter. Imagine what your life could look like if you gave up your fear of failure and started taking action, no matter what. Picture yourself waking up every day with a sense of purpose, knowing that the choices you make today will shape the future you've always dreamed of. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. The only thing you need to do is decide that you are ready to move forward, no matter how uncertain or uncomfortable it might feel. The truth is, there's no such thing as failure unless you stop trying. The only way to truly fail is to give up. Failure is a word that has been misunderstood by many. We often hear it and immediately think of defeat, but failure is actually the best teacher you will ever have. It's the most valuable experience that will lead you toward growth, wisdom, and success. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of the process. The moment you start seeing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, you will be unstoppable. No matter how many times you fall down, you will rise up with more experience, more resilience, and more determination. Failure will no longer be something that holds you back, but rather something that propels you forward. The key to overcoming failure lies in shifting your perspective. Most people fear failure because they see it as a negative outcome, but what if you saw it as a stepping stone? What if each failure became a lesson that brought you closer to your goal, rather than a roadblock? This mindset shift will change everything for you. The fear of failure fades when you realize that the real failure happens when you stop trying. It's not the mistakes that matter, it's how you respond to them that determines your future. Now, this doesn't mean that failure is easy. It's not. It stings, it hurts, and it can knock you down harder than you ever thought possible. But that's where the magic happens. When you hit rock bottom, you learn what you're truly made of. You discover your strength, your resilience, and your ability to rise above the challenges. It's in those moments of struggle that you find your true power. The best part is, you don't have to do it alone. You can choose to surround yourself with people who support you, who believe in you, and who will encourage you to keep going, even when it feels impossible. The right people will lift you up, and together you will grow stronger with every challenge you face. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and your goals is the fear of what might happen if you fail. But that fear is just an illusion. It's a story you've told yourself over and over again, convincing yourself that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. But what if you flipped the script? What if you realized that failure isn't something to fear, but something to embrace? What if you realized that every failure brings you one step closer to your dreams? The key to breaking through your fear of failure is to take action. Action is the antidote to fear. When you start taking action, even if it's small, you begin to break the cycle of doubt and hesitation. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. It's proof that you are moving forward. And with every step, your confidence grows, your fear lessens, and you begin to see failure for what it truly is, a part of the journey. One of the most powerful ways to overcome your fear of failure is to reframe your mindset. Instead of seeing failure as a negative, see it as feedback. It's not a reflection of who you are as a person, it's simply a reflection of what didn't work in a specific situation. When you reframe failure as feedback, you take the power away from it. You stop allowing it to control your emotions, and you start using it to your advantage. Each failure becomes a lesson in what to do better next time. It's like a roadmap guiding you towards success, showing you where to go and where to avoid. It's also important to remember that failure doesn't define you. You are not your mistakes, your setbacks, or your challenges. You are so much more than that. You are defined by your resilience, your ability to rise after each fall, and your unwavering commitment to keep going. Don't let a failure make you believe that you're not capable of success. Don't let one setback convince you that you're not worthy of your dreams. You are worthy, and you are capable. The only thing standing in your way is your fear of what might happen if you fail. To truly embrace failure, you have to stop comparing your journey to others. We live in a world where it's easy to look around and see other people succeeding and think that we're falling behind. But the truth is, everyone's journey is different. No one has the exact same path, the same timing, or the same experiences. Comparing yourself to others is a trap that will only keep you stuck in self-doubt and frustration. Focus on your own path, your own progress, and your own growth. Celebrate each step you take, no matter how small. Your journey is yours, and it's beautiful in its own unique way. Another key to overcoming failure is developing a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, perseverance, and learning. They see failure not as a reflection of their abilities, but as an opportunity to improve and grow. When you adopt a growth mindset, you begin to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. You become willing to push through the hard times, knowing that each challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. The road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and detours, but each one brings you closer to where you need to be. Embrace the journey and know that every failure is just another step in your evolution. Lastly, you must learn to trust yourself. You are more capable than you realize, and you have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle in your way. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing every decision and wondering if you're making the right choice. You start moving forward with confidence, knowing that you will figure things out along the way. Trust that you have everything you need within you to succeed. Trust that every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. And trust that no matter how many times you fall, you will always get back up, ready to try again. Failure is not something to fear. It's something to embrace, something to learn from, and something that will ultimately lead you to the success you desire. The only way to fail is to stop trying, and you are not a person who gives up. You are someone who keeps going, no matter what. So take action, embrace the lessons that failure brings, and trust that your success is waiting for you on the other side. Don't fear failure, use it as fuel to drive you toward your dreams, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Chapter 5. The role of technology in your life. In a world where technology is both a tool and a trap, it's easy to lose sight of why we even use it in the first place. It's all around us, infiltrating every moment of our lives, from the second we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Our phones buzz, our computers ping, notifications pop up everywhere, and before we know it, hours have slipped by. The irony here is that technology was designed to make our lives easier, yet it often feels like it's doing the exact opposite. It's making everything more complex, more overwhelming, and in many cases more distracting. But what if we could change the narrative? What if we could stop being slaves to our devices and start using them as tools to build the life we want? The reality is, technology doesn't have to be the enemy. It doesn't have to control you, but you need to take control of it. You need to understand how it's affecting your life and what role it should truly play in your success. Think about it. Our devices are capable of incredible things. They can connect us with the world, they can provide us with information, and they can help us achieve things we never thought possible. But when we let them distract us from what really matters, they become a problem. The key is balance, and you're the one who has to set the boundaries. Let's face it, one of the biggest distractions in today's world is the constant flow of notifications. Every minute, there's something new, demanding your attention. An email, a message, a tweet, a like, a new update from someone on your social media feed. It's endless, and if you let it, it will consume your day. You might think it's just a quick check, but here's the thing, every time you break focus to check your phone, it takes time for your brain to get back into the groove of what you were doing. The rhythm of your day gets interrupted, and your productivity suffers. But the biggest consequence, the biggest risk of all, it's the slow death of your ability to concentrate and create meaningful, deep work. We've all experienced this. You start with good intentions. Maybe you want to work on that important project, or maybe you want to get ahead on your goals. Then your phone buzzes. You check it, and before you know it, you've lost 10 minutes. Then 30. Maybe you scroll a little longer, because you see something that grabs your attention. Next thing you know, you've wasted a full hour. Does this sound familiar? It happens to the best of us, and the worst part is, once you start down that path, it's hard to stop. The brain loves stimulation. It loves the dopamine rush of getting a new notification or seeing something interesting. And so you keep scrolling and scrolling, and before you know it, hours have passed, and your most important work has been pushed aside. But here's the kicker. All of that time you spend lost in the endless scroll could be spent on something far more valuable. Your creativity, your growth, your progress. The key to making technology work for you is to train your brain to prioritize what truly matters. It's about being intentional with how you use it, rather than letting it hijack your attention. One of the first steps you can take is to declutter your digital space. Just like we clean and organize our physical environment, we need to do the same with our digital world. Do you really need every app on your phone? Are all of those email subscriptions contributing to your goals, or are they just adding to the noise? Take a step back and look at your devices. What's really helping you move forward? And what's just adding to the chaos? Streamlining your digital space will give you more time, more clarity, and more focus. It's not just about cleaning up your phone though, it's about setting boundaries. Give yourself permission to put your phone down. Put your laptop away. Set limits on how much time you spend on your devices, and give your mind the space it needs to focus on your real, meaningful work. But it's not just about the physical act of cutting back. It's about developing a new mindset. You have to change the way you view technology. It's easy to get sucked into the idea that technology is essential for success. That if you're not constantly connected, you're somehow falling behind. But in reality, the opposite is true. The most successful people are often the ones who know how to disconnect, to focus deeply, and to create without distractions. They know how to use technology to enhance their lives, not to overwhelm them. What does that look like in practice? It means taking control of your notifications. Turn off alerts for things that don't matter. You don't need to know when every new message comes in or when someone posts on social media. Turn off those push notifications and take back your time. Schedule time for checking emails or scrolling through your feeds. Don't let these things interrupt your day. When you give yourself dedicated time to check your devices, you'll notice how much more control you have over your day. And once you experience that control, you'll wonder why you ever allowed technology to have the power to dictate your every move. Another powerful way to take control is to practice digital detoxes. This means taking breaks from technology altogether, whether it's for a few hours, a full day, or even a weekend. Disconnecting completely from your devices gives your mind the space to relax, reflect, and recharge. It also allows you to reconnect with the world around you. Think about it. When was the last time you truly disconnected from everything? When was the last time you sat in silence, without checking your phone, without scrolling through your feed? The power of a digital detox is that it restores your ability to focus, to think deeply, and to reconnect with your goals. But the real magic happens when you start using technology intentionally. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, start using your devices to move you closer to your goals. Use apps that help you stay organized, that remind you of your priorities, or that help you track your progress. Listen to podcasts that inspire you or watch videos that teach you something new. There's a wealth of information available at your fingertips, and it's up to you to use it in ways that serve you, not distract you. Ultimately, technology is just a tool, a powerful tool, but still a tool. It's not the solution to all your problems, nor is it the thing that will make you successful. Your success comes from your ability to use technology strategically, to focus on what truly matters, and to keep distractions at bay. The world may continue to speed up, but you have the power to slow down, to focus, and to create your best work. The key is mastering your relationship with technology and using it in ways that help you grow, not hinder you. When you do that, you'll find that technology can be your greatest ally, not your biggest enemy. Chapter 6. Decluttering your physical space. You've felt it before, haven't you? That weight on your shoulders when your environment is messy, chaotic, or cluttered. You might have convinced yourself that it's just stuff, that it doesn't really affect you. But deep down, you know it does. Every time you walk into a room that's filled with clutter, your mind immediately picks up on the chaos. Your thoughts get distracted. Your energy feels scattered. And worst of all, you feel a subtle tension building that you can't quite put your finger on. But here's the truth. Your physical space has a direct impact on your mental clarity, your productivity, and your ability to focus. Decluttering isn't just about cleaning up your environment. It's about taking control of your life, organizing your thoughts, and creating a space that supports your vision for success. Imagine walking into a room where everything is in its place. No piles of papers to sift through, no laundry scattered around, no unnecessary things crowding your desk. What do you feel? Calm, clarity, a sense of control. And it's not just in the room, it spreads through your mind. When your environment is organized, your thoughts become organized too. You feel like you have the space to breathe, to think, and to focus on what really matters. You begin to realize just how much clutter has been weighing you down, not just physically, but mentally as well. Most people underestimate the impact of their surroundings. They think that clutter is just a minor inconvenience or something they'll deal with later. But in reality, your physical space is a direct reflection of your inner world. If you're constantly surrounded by chaos, it's easy for your mind to fall into the same state. The clutter steals your attention, your energy, and your time. You waste mental energy just deciding where to start, where to put things, and how to deal with it all. But when your space is clean and organized, it frees up your mental capacity to focus on the things that truly matter. It's not about being obsessive or extreme. It's about creating an environment that supports your growth, your focus, and your success. Let's talk about the power of a clean workspace. It's no secret that the most successful people in the world understand the importance of their environment. They intentionally design spaces that inspire them, that help them stay focused and clear-headed. Think about it. How can you expect to achieve greatness if you're working in a space that drains your energy, that distracts you, or that makes you feel overwhelmed? When you sit down at a cluttered desk, it's not just your work that's scattered, it's your mind. You start to feel like you're drowning in things that need to be done, rather than feeling empowered to tackle your goals. But when you declutter, when you simplify, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You give yourself the space to create, to think, and to achieve. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up a room or throwing things away. It's about intentionally choosing what stays and what goes. It's about making sure that the things around you serve a purpose and support your goals. Take a moment to look around at your space. What's in it that's actually helping you get closer to where you want to go? What's distracting you, making you feel anxious, or holding you back? The things you keep in your space, whether it's physical objects or even digital clutter, have the power to influence your mindset and your productivity. If your surroundings are filled with unnecessary distractions, your brain will struggle to focus. But if your space is clean, minimalist and purposeful, you create an environment that encourages clarity and action. One of the most powerful ways to declutter is by embracing the principle of less is more. You don't need a lot of stuff to create a productive and inspiring space. In fact, sometimes the more you have, the more overwhelmed you feel. Start by getting rid of the things that don't serve you. The piles of paper you've been meaning to go through, the knickknacks that just sit there collecting dust, the clothes you never wear. Let go of them. Not only does it free up physical space, but it also clears up mental space. When you let go of the things that no longer serve you, you make room for the things that truly matter. You're giving yourself permission to focus on what's important and to release the weight of unnecessary distractions. But decluttering isn't a one-time task. It's a mindset. It's a way of life. Once you experience the power of an organized, focused space, you begin to see how it affects every aspect of your life. You start to realize how much mental energy you were wasting on things that didn't contribute to your goals. You begin to see the value of simplicity and intentionality. And the best part is, it's not just about your workspace. When you declutter one area of your life, you naturally start to declutter others. Your relationships, your time, your digital space, all of it becomes more intentional, more focused, and more aligned with your goals. The impact of decluttering extends beyond your workspace. It affects your mindset. When you clear away the physical distractions, you create mental space for creativity, focus, and clarity. You begin to feel more in control of your life, more confident in your ability to move forward. It's like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders and you can finally breathe deeply without the constant pressure of unfinished tasks or unnecessary clutter. You start to see opportunities instead of obstacles, possibilities instead of limitations. Decluttering also helps you focus on the present moment. When you're constantly surrounded by mess, it's hard to be fully present. Your mind is always drifting toward what needs to be done, what's out of place, what's unfinished. But when your environment is clean and organized, you can focus on the here and now. You can immerse yourself in your work, in your relationships, in your goals. You can be fully engaged, fully present, without the constant nagging feeling that something is out of order. And when you're fully present, you're able to give your best effort to everything you do. You're able to create at your highest level, make decisions with clarity, and achieve with purpose. So take a step back and ask yourself, what is your space telling you about your mindset? Is it cluttered with distractions, or is it an environment that supports your growth? Remember, your surroundings are a reflection of who you are and where you're going. When you choose to declutter your physical space, you're not just cleaning up your environment, you're cleaning up your mind, your life, and your future. And when you make space for the things that truly matter, you'll be amazed at how much clearer, more focused, and more empowered you become. If you're ready to take control of your life, start with your space. Declutter it, simplify it, and create an environment that supports your goals. And watch how it transforms not just your surroundings, but your mindset and your entire approach to life. Chapter 7. The importance of rest and recovery. You've been pushing yourself hard, working late into the night, grinding through each day, constantly moving from one task to the next, feeling like there's no time to slow down. The idea of rest, the thought of stepping back and giving yourself time to recover, might feel like a luxury you can't afford. But let me tell you something important. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not just something you do when you're done, or when you're too tired to go any further. It's a crucial part of the process that allows you to push further, achieve more, and become the best version of yourself. When you hear people talk about success, they often focus on the hustle, the grind, the never-ending work ethic. But here's the thing that many overlook. No matter how hard you work, no matter how relentless you are, if you don't give yourself the time to recover, you're eventually going to hit a wall. Your body, your mind, and your spirit can only take so much before they start to break down. The fact is, rest and recovery are as important as the work itself. Without them, you can't expect to operate at your highest potential. You can't expect to give your best because you're constantly running on empty. Think about it. When you're constantly in motion, you might think you're making progress, but you're actually setting yourself up for burnout. Your energy reserves get depleted, and your focus starts to wane. You might be able to push through for a little while, but eventually your performance will suffer. You'll find yourself getting frustrated, feeling like you're working harder and harder, but not making the progress you want. Rest, on the other hand, allows you to recharge, to reset, and to come back stronger than before. But rest isn't just about taking a nap or sleeping in on weekends. It's about giving yourself permission to step back, to breathe, to recover. It's about understanding that rest is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. Rest allows you to refocus, to regain your clarity, and to renew your energy. It's the time you give yourself to process everything you've learned, to reflect on your progress, and to prepare for the next phase of your journey. When you allow yourself to rest, you're not just taking a break from work, you're giving your mind and body the opportunity to grow. There's a reason that top performers, athletes, and successful people make rest a priority. They understand that working harder without rest only leads to diminishing returns. They understand that rest is what fuels long-term success. It's what allows them to show up every day with the energy, clarity, and drive to keep pushing forward. It's the balance between work and rest that creates sustainable success. Without rest, there's no energy to work with, no creativity, no drive, no power. But the key to effective rest is understanding how to rest right. It's not about wasting time or procrastinating. It's about finding the balance that allows you to recover fully without feeling guilty or lazy. It's about understanding that rest is not a passive activity, but an active choice to recharge, rebuild, and refocus. When you rest properly, you're investing in your future. You're preparing yourself to show up as the best version of yourself, not just for today, but for tomorrow and the days to come. Rest doesn't always mean sleeping. It's about engaging in activities that help you feel rejuvenated. It could be reading, meditating, going for a walk, or spending time with loved ones. It's about finding what helps you reset and renew your energy. Maybe it's something physical, like yoga or stretching, to release tension in your body. Maybe it's something creative, like painting or writing, to allow your mind to unwind. The key is to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's something that truly helps you feel restored, not just distracted. And here's the thing that many people don't talk about. Rest is essential for your mind's ability to focus. Without enough rest, your brain doesn't have the chance to process and consolidate all the information you've been taking in. You can't retain new knowledge, you can't make decisions with clarity, and you can't solve problems effectively. Your brain needs time to recharge, just like your body does. And when you give it that time, it comes back sharper, more focused, and more capable of handling whatever challenges lie ahead. Another thing to consider is the mental aspect of rest. Often we push ourselves to keep going because we think we should be doing more, that there's always something we should be working on. But constantly pushing ourselves without rest can lead to a cycle of stress, anxiety, and burnout. You start to believe that if you're not working, you're not achieving. But the truth is, constant work without rest leads to diminishing returns. Your productivity decreases, your creativity wanes, and you lose the drive that got you started in the first place. When you allow yourself to rest, you also give your mind the chance to reset and recalibrate. You stop the endless cycle of work and stress, and you create space for your thoughts to flow freely. Your ideas become clearer, your solutions become more effective, and your sense of well-being improves. Rest is like a mental reset button that helps you break free from the cycle of overwork and into a state of clarity and peace. True rest doesn't just refresh you, it actually enhances your performance. It's the quiet time that allows your mind to recharge, your body to recover, and your soul to find balance. Rest is an investment in yourself. It's the time you give yourself to replenish what you've given to the world. And the more you rest, the more you'll be able to give back to the world, whether that's through your work, your relationships, or your personal growth. If you want to achieve lasting success, if you want to perform at the highest level day after day, then you need to make rest a priority. It's not something to feel guilty about. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, wisdom, and understanding. Rest is what allows you to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep evolving. Without rest, you're running on empty. But with rest, you're fueling your body, mind, and spirit to perform at your best. So take a step back, allow yourself to rest, and see what happens. You'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish when you're fully recharged, refocused, and ready to tackle the challenges ahead. Rest is the foundation for long-term success. It's what keeps you going when everything else feels like it's pushing you down. Chapter 8. Creating a daily routine that supports focus. You already know how important it is to focus. We all know that we should be more focused, more intentional, and less distracted. But what if I told you that the key to achieving this level of focus starts long before you sit down to work? It's not about just choosing to focus in the moment. It's about designing your day, your life, and your routine in a way that makes focus inevitable. Your daily routine has the power to either strengthen your focus or sabotage it. The truth is, your routine is the silent force behind your ability to focus. It's the foundation that supports everything else you do. You see, focus isn't something that just happens. It's something you create. It's something you train. It's something you carve out space for. And that starts with a solid, intentional routine. Imagine waking up every single day with clarity, knowing exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you're going to get it done. That level of certainty and control comes from having a routine that's designed to support your goals and eliminate distractions. Creating a routine that supports focus means building a structure that keeps you aligned with your priorities. It's about making sure that your day isn't filled with chaos, confusion, or random tasks that pull your attention in a million different directions. Instead, you want your routine to be a deliberate process that guides you from one task to the next with purpose and intention. The more you structure your day around the things that matter most, the easier it will be to stay focused. A solid routine isn't about rigidly sticking to a schedule or forcing yourself to follow a set of rules every single day. It's about creating a framework that works for you. A framework that gives you the time and space to focus on what truly matters while allowing room for flexibility when life inevitably throws you off course. It's about finding the balance between structure and freedom, between discipline and creativity. Your routine should work for you, not against you. When you create a routine that supports focus, it means intentionally choosing how you spend your time. It means deciding what gets your energy, what gets your attention, and what gets left behind. A routine that supports focus doesn't allow you to waste time on things that don't matter. It doesn't leave room for distractions, procrastination, or aimless scrolling. Instead, it helps you stay grounded in your goals, grounded in your values, and grounded in the actions that will move you forward. Your morning routine, in particular, plays a crucial role in setting the tone for your entire day. How you start your morning can determine how focused and productive you are for the rest of the day. If you wake up and immediately dive into your phone, checking emails, social media, or the news, you're already letting external distractions dictate your day. But if you wake up with a sense of purpose, if you wake up and take a few moments to center yourself, you'll set yourself up for success. Whether it's a moment of silence, a quick meditation, or a few minutes of journaling, your morning routine should help you ground yourself and set clear intentions for the day ahead. From there, your routine should flow in a way that helps you stay focused on your most important tasks. It's easy to get caught up in the small, unimportant tasks that don't actually move the needle forward. Your routine should help you prioritize the things that matter most and tackle them first. When you focus on the big, impactful tasks early in the day, you're setting yourself up for success. You're training your mind to focus on what's important, and you're doing it when your energy is at its highest. But it's not just about getting things done. It's about making sure that the tasks you're doing are aligned with your bigger goals. It's about making sure that everything you do each day contributes to your overall vision. A routine that supports focus helps you make choices every day that move you toward your long-term objectives. It keeps you aligned with your purpose, even when distractions try to pull you away. Creating a routine that supports focus also means taking care of your physical and mental well-being. Your mind can't focus if your body is exhausted, run down, or stressed. That's why a focused, friendly routine must include time for rest, exercise, and self-care. When you take care of your physical health, you're setting yourself up for mental clarity and focus. When you get enough sleep, when you eat well, when you move your body, you're giving yourself the energy you need to perform at your best. But even more than that, your routine should also include time for reflection and self-assessment. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, checking off tasks and moving through your to-do list. But if you don't take time to step back and reflect on your progress, you'll lose sight of your bigger picture. A routine that supports focus isn't just about doing, it's also about thinking. It's about taking time to evaluate where you are, what's working, and what needs adjustment. Without this, you risk running on autopilot and losing sight of the goals that truly matter. And let's talk about flexibility. Life isn't always predictable. Things will come up. Unexpected events will arise, and sometimes your plans will be thrown off course. But the beauty of having a routine that supports focus is that you can build in room for flexibility. You can structure your day in a way that leaves space for the unexpected without losing sight of your priorities. Flexibility doesn't mean abandoning your goals, it means adapting to the circumstances while still staying true to your overall vision. The power of creating a daily routine that supports focus lies in its ability to remove decision fatigue. When you've already decided what you need to do, when you've already planned out your day, there's less room for hesitation or doubt. You don't have to waste mental energy figuring out what to do next or getting sidetracked by distractions. Everything is already in place, and all you need to do is follow the path you've set. This simplicity frees up your mind to focus on the task at hand without the constant pull of indecision or uncertainty. Ultimately, creating a daily routine that supports focus is about creating a life that's intentional, purposeful, and aligned with your goals. It's about designing your day in a way that naturally supports your ability to concentrate, be productive, and achieve your best. When you have a routine that allows you to focus on the things that matter, you create the foundation for long-term success. You build momentum each day, step by step, toward your biggest aspirations. You stop letting distractions control your life, and you take charge of your own destiny. If you want to create more focus in your life, start by looking at your routine. Look at how you're spending your time, how you're organizing your day, and how you're setting yourself up for success. A strong routine doesn't just help you get more done, it helps you get the right things done. It supports your goals, enhances your performance, and helps you stay focused on what truly matters. When you build a routine like that, you're not just creating a productive day, you're creating a life that's aligned with your highest potential. And that's when the magic happens. Chapter 9. Overcoming procrastination. Turning intentions into action. When you make a decision, you're not just telling yourself what you intend to do, you're creating a moment of power. You're giving yourself the ability to shape your future, to transform ideas into reality. But let's be honest, how many times have you found yourself stuck in that same cycle? You know what you need to do, you can see the big picture, and yet something keeps you from taking the first step. Procrastination. It's a silent killer of dreams, a thief that sneaks in and robs you of time, momentum, and the energy you could have spent turning those intentions into real action. But here's the kicker. You have the power to break that cycle. And once you do, the entire landscape of your life will shift. Let's break it down. Why do we procrastinate in the first place? The reason is simple, but powerful. We delay because we're scared. We put things off because of fear. Fear of failure, fear of not being perfect, fear of the unknown. It's easier to stay in a comfortable space where nothing changes, where the pressure of action isn't hanging over you. The mind tricks you into believing that putting it off will somehow make it easier later, but deep down, you know it won't. You know that every moment you wait is another moment lost, another step backward. Procrastination isn't laziness, it's fear disguised as a lack of motivation. And the only way to beat it is by making a decision to take action, no matter how small. Here's the truth: procrastination is the result of not knowing how to get started. It's the overwhelming feeling that the task ahead of you is too big, too complex, or too difficult to even begin. But in reality, the act of starting is the hardest part. Once you take that first step, momentum kicks in, and it's no longer a giant mountain you have to climb. It's just a series of small hills that you can easily overcome. It's all about breaking it down into manageable steps. Stop looking at the big picture, stop obsessing over perfection, and just focus on what you can do right now. What's the first step you can take today? If you focus on the next small action, suddenly, the mountain becomes a lot more like a molehill. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that things need to be perfect before you begin. We've all been there. We want to start a new project, a new habit, or a new goal, but we get stuck in the planning phase. We waste time thinking about how to do everything the right way. But here's the thing: there is no perfect time, and there's no perfect way to start. Perfectionism is just another form of procrastination. It convinces you that if you can't do something perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. This mindset paralyzes you and keeps you from moving forward. The truth is, perfection is a myth. Action, on the other hand, is real. It's the only way to make progress, and progress, no matter how small, is always better than standing still. The moment you realize that the most important thing is to get started, imperfectly, messily, however you can, the weight of procrastination lifts. When you stop waiting for the perfect conditions and just focus on doing what you can with what you have, everything starts to shift. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know every single detail of the plan. You just need to take that first step. And once you take it, the next one becomes easier. And the one after that, even easier. But it all starts with the decision to act. You can't let fear dictate your life. Every time you put something off, you're allowing fear to win. But what if you shifted your mindset and saw action as the antidote to fear? Instead of seeing the task ahead as something to be feared, start seeing it as an opportunity to conquer that fear, to grow, to become the person you want to be. When you take action, you're proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are in control. And the more action you take, the more you begin to trust yourself and your abilities. It's not about being fearless, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. That's how you break the procrastination cycle. That's how you turn your intentions into results. You have to recognize that inaction is a choice, just like action is. Every time you choose to delay, you're choosing not to move forward. And that choice doesn't just impact your day, it impacts your life. The longer you wait, the further away you get from your goals. But the moment you choose action, even in the smallest way, you're moving closer to everything you want. Every single day that you make the decision to act is a day that brings you closer to the person you want to become. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for things to align perfectly. The best time to act is right now. What happens when you start taking action? Everything begins to shift. you'll find that the fear you were so afraid of begins to lose its power. You'll start to feel confident, energized and motivated. Every little step you take creates a new layer of momentum that propels you forward, and that momentum is the key to defeating procrastination for good. Because once you start, you'll realize that it wasn't as hard as you thought. It wasn't as scary as you imagined. The task that once felt overwhelming suddenly seems manageable, even easy, because you've broken it down, you've tackled the first step, and now you can keep going. But here's the most important part. When you make the decision to act, when you push through the resistance, when you stop letting procrastination control you, you're sending a powerful message to yourself. You're telling yourself that you're capable, that you're strong, that you're in control of your life. And that confidence spills over into every area of your life. The more you take action, the more you build trust in yourself, and that trust becomes the foundation for everything you do moving forward. Procrastination is not something that can be eliminated overnight. It's a habit, and habits take time to break. But once you begin to recognize the pattern, once you start understanding that procrastination is simply fear in disguise, you can begin to make choices that lead to action. And when you consistently choose action, you'll create a life where procrastination no longer has a hold on you. You'll turn your intentions into results, and you'll do it one step at a time. And soon the life you've been dreaming of will no longer be a distant vision, it will be your reality. Chapter 10. Developing mental resilience to stay on track. The truth is, life isn't going to be easy. It's not going to follow a perfect script, and it won't always give you the outcome you want when you want it. If you're waiting for a life of ease, comfort and certainty, you'll be waiting forever. What you need to focus on instead is developing the mental resilience to face whatever comes your way, no matter how difficult it may seem. Mental resilience is the key to staying on track, no matter what challenges arise. It's the ability to stay strong, to keep going when others would quit, and to weather every storm life throws your way with the strength to push forward. And let me tell you this, mental resilience isn't just something you're born with, it's something you can build. And once you understand that, you'll never be the same. Most people think that to achieve something great, all they need is talent or luck. But here's the reality, talent will get you so far, but mental resilience will take you across the finish line. It's the ability to keep moving forward when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. It's the strength to keep your head high, even when you're facing setbacks, failures and roadblocks. And you know what? We all face them. No one is exempt from the struggles, the failures or the hard days. But the people who make it to the other side are the ones who refuse to give up. They refuse to let their circumstances define them. And you can be one of those people. You just have to develop that mental toughness, that ability to keep going, even when it feels impossible. When things get tough, it's easy to throw in the towel. It's easy to want to quit, to let frustration take over, and to let doubt fill your mind. But if you want to stay on track, if you want to achieve your goals and transform your life, you can't let those negative feelings take hold of you. You need to take control of your mind. You need to build a mindset that is so strong, so focused, and so relentless that nothing, absolutely nothing, can knock you off course. It's about building a mental fortress, one that will stand strong in the face of adversity, one that will keep you grounded when everything else seems to be falling apart. The first step to developing mental resilience is understanding that setbacks and challenges are inevitable. No one's journey to success is smooth. There will always be obstacles, there will always be failure, and there will always be moments when you feel like giving up. But here's the thing, those challenges don't define you. How you respond to them, how you handle them, and how you rise from them. That's what defines you. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the challenges they face. It's their ability to push through, to keep going, and to stay focused on the bigger picture. So when life gets tough, and it will, you need to train your mind to respond with resilience. Instead of seeing a setback as a reason to quit, see it as an opportunity to grow. Instead of getting discouraged, look for the lesson in the struggle. Resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about facing them head-on with the mindset that you can and will overcome them. You need to be willing to dig deep, to find that inner strength, and to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. One of the most powerful tools in building mental resilience is developing the ability to control your thoughts. The thoughts you allow to take root in your mind can either propel you forward or hold you back. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you can't do something, or that the challenge is too big, you'll start to believe it. And once you believe it, it becomes your reality. But if you start telling yourself that you are capable, that you can handle whatever comes your way, and that you have the strength to overcome any obstacle, you'll start to believe that too. And belief is the foundation of mental resilience. You can't build resilience without first believing in your own power. Another key to mental resilience is building a routine that supports your mental and physical health. If you want to stay strong mentally, you have to take care of your body. Exercise, eat well, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind. When you're physically strong, it's easier to stay mentally strong, and when you take care of yourself, you're building the energy and focus you need to keep pushing through. You can't expect to be resilient if you're not taking care of the basic needs of your body and mind. But resilience isn't just about staying strong during the good times, it's about bouncing back after the bad times. Life will throw punches, and it's not about avoiding those punches. It's about getting back up every single time you get knocked down. Resilience is built in those moments when you have every reason to quit, but you don't. It's when you're exhausted, defeated and broken, but you choose to stand up and keep going anyway. Those moments are the ones that will define your journey. Those are the moments where your mental toughness will be forged. When you develop mental resilience, you stop letting external circumstances control your inner peace. You stop letting other people's opinions or the challenges that come your way determine how you feel and how you respond. You start taking ownership of your life. You begin to understand that no matter what happens, you always have the power to choose how you respond. And that's where true strength lies, knowing that no matter how difficult things get, you are in control. You are the one who decides how you show up in the world. You are the one who decides how you face the challenges ahead. To stay on track, to keep moving toward your goals, you need to develop mental resilience. You need to train your mind to handle adversity, to face challenges with strength, and to keep going even when the road gets tough. And when you build that mental toughness, you'll find that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you from achieving the success you want. You'll be unstoppable because you'll have the mental resilience to keep moving forward, no matter what. So start today. Start building that resilience, start developing that strength, and start creating the life you've always wanted. Chapter 11. The Art of Prioritizing Deep Work. It's time to face the brutal truth. Most people waste their lives bouncing from task to task, caught in a whirlwind of distractions, never truly accomplishing what matters. They work endlessly, checking off items from their to-do lists, but when they look back, they haven't made any meaningful progress. They haven't achieved their greatest potential. They haven't done the deep, focused work that truly changes the game. But here's the thing, if you're going to rise above the crowd, If you're going to truly stand out, you need to master the art of prioritizing deep work. It's the secret weapon of the highly successful, the ones who break through barriers and change their world. And you can start mastering it today. Most people are so caught up in their constant buzz of emails, social media notifications, phone calls, and meetings that they never give themselves the time or space to do meaningful work. They're constantly jumping from one small task to another, filling their time with low-level activities that give them a false sense of accomplishment. But deep work, the kind of work that requires intense focus, creativity, and effort, is where the real magic happens. This is where breakthroughs occur. This is where you make the progress that moves you from average to extraordinary. But the problem is, we're all conditioned to live in a world of shallow work. We're taught to multitask, to be everywhere at once, to respond to every notification, and to do everything at once. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power of focused, uninterrupted work. So how do you break free from this cycle? How do you stop being a slave to distractions and start prioritizing the work that truly matters? The answer lies in learning to embrace deep work and making it the center of your daily routine. Deep work isn't just about sitting in front of your computer for hours on end. It's about entering a state of focused flow where your mind is fully engaged, where distractions are non-existent, and where you're able to tap into your highest level of creativity and productivity. It's about carving out time in your day to do the work that matters most, and blocking out all the noise and distractions that keep you from achieving greatness. To master deep work, the first step is to prioritize it above everything else. You have to make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Most people think they're too busy to do deep work. They feel like there's just too much to do, too many things pulling their attention in different directions. But here's the thing, you're never going to have more time. You're never going to magically find a block of hours to dedicate to deep work. You have to create that time. You have to take control of your schedule and protect your most important work like it's your most precious asset. Start by identifying your most important tasks, the ones that will move the needle in your life. These are the tasks that require deep focus and creative energy. These are the projects that are going to change your life, your career, and your future. Once you've identified them, make them your top priority. Block out uninterrupted time in your day to focus solely on these tasks. No distractions, no checking emails, no scrolling through social media, just pure, unfiltered focus on the work that will make the biggest impact. But here's where most people fail. They think they can multitask. They think they can handle it all. Answer emails, take calls, check their phone, while also doing deep work. This is a recipe for failure. Multitasking doesn't work. It's a myth. The brain simply isn't built to focus on multiple things at once. When you try to juggle everything, you end up doing everything poorly. You're not giving your full attention to anything, and your productivity suffers. To do deep work, you have to be fully present in the moment, giving your undivided attention to the task at hand. One of the biggest obstacles to deep work is the constant barrage of distractions. In today's world, we're always connected. Our phones are constantly buzzing with notifications, and we're always just a click away from the next distraction. But here's the reality, you can't do your best work while you're constantly being interrupted. You need to create an environment that is conducive to deep work. That means turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, and creating a space where you can focus without being disturbed. You have to take control of your environment and eliminate as many distractions as possible. This may mean setting boundaries with people around you or scheduling specific times when you're unavailable. You need to protect your time and guard it fiercely, because deep work is sacred. Another key to mastering deep work is learning to embrace boredom. In today's world, we're constantly stimulated. We have our phones, TV, social media, and a million other distractions keeping us entertained. But true creativity and deep thinking don't come from constant stimulation. They come from silence, solitude, and deep reflection. You have to train yourself to sit in the discomfort of boredom. The more you embrace that feeling of discomfort and push through it, the stronger your focus and creativity will become. When you stop filling every moment with distractions and start allowing your mind to rest, that's when the magic happens. That's when you tap into the deepest level of your creativity and productivity. Once you start prioritizing deep work, you'll notice that your productivity skyrockets. You'll get more done in a fraction of the time. But here's the catch. Deep work requires discipline. It's not easy. It's not about doing what's convenient. It's about doing what's necessary. It's about pushing through the distractions and staying focused on what truly matters. And when you do this, when you commit to deep work and make it the centerpiece of your day, you'll start to see results like never before. You'll create work that is impactful, meaningful, and life-changing. The art of prioritizing deep work is the key to unlocking your full potential. It's the secret to becoming the best version of yourself. It's about carving out the time and space to do the work that matters most, the work that will take you to new heights, the work that will make a real difference in your life. So stop wasting time on shallow tasks. Start prioritizing the work that requires your deepest focus and watch how your life transforms. When you make deep work a priority, nothing can stop you from achieving greatness. Chapter 12. Building a supportive network for focus. When you surround yourself with the right people, it's like stepping into a new world where everything aligns, your energy is amplified, and the journey towards success suddenly feels a little bit easier. The truth is, your focus, your productivity, and your personal growth are heavily influenced by the people you choose to spend your time with. It doesn't matter how much potential you have or how hard you work. If you're surrounded by the wrong people, it will be that much harder to stay focused, stay motivated, and achieve what you're truly capable of. You need a supportive network, people who will lift you up, challenge you, and help you keep your eyes on the prize. Building this network isn't just about surrounding yourself with people who agree with everything you say. It's not about creating a circle of yes men who make you feel good but never push you to do more. It's about finding people who genuinely want the best for you, people who will encourage your growth, hold you accountable, and most importantly, help you stay focused on your deepest goals and dreams. These are the people who will remind you of your purpose when the going gets tough. They will be there to cheer you on when you feel like giving up. They won't let you make excuses. And most importantly, they'll challenge you to level up. But here's the kicker. This kind of network doesn't just appear out of nowhere. You have to create it. It's not going to just fall into your lap. You have to actively seek out the right people, build those relationships, and nurture them over time. But it's worth it. The difference it makes is night and day. When you have a network that truly supports you, you stop feeling like you're walking the path alone. You stop getting sidetracked by distractions, self-doubt, and negative energy. You have people who believe in your vision, and that belief fuels your own fire. Now, let's break down how you actually go about building that supportive network. The first thing you have to do is get clear about your vision. You need to know exactly what you want in life. What are your goals? What are the things that truly matter to you? If you don't know where you're headed, it's going to be impossible to find people who can help you get there. You have to know what you want before you can go out and find others who align with that mission. When your vision is clear, you'll start attracting people who resonate with it. They will be drawn to your purpose, and you'll be able to connect with them on a deeper level. But it's not just about vision, it's about values. What do you stand for? What kind of energy do you want in your life? Do you want to be around people who are driven, passionate, and ambitious? Or do you want to be around people who are constantly complaining, making excuses, and holding you back? You have to be intentional about the energy you allow into your space. If you want to stay focused and motivated, you need to surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better. People who will push you to stay committed to your goals and encourage you to stay on track, even when things get tough. Another critical aspect of building a supportive network is accountability. Accountability is everything when it comes to staying focused. It's easy to say you're going to do something, but when you don't have anyone checking in on you, it's easy to let it slide. That's why you need people in your corner who won't let you off the hook. People who will call you out when you're slacking off or getting distracted. These are the people who won't let you settle for mediocrity. They'll make sure you're constantly taking action and moving toward your goals, even on the days when you don't feel like it. But it's not just about having someone hold you accountable. It's about creating a mutual relationship. Accountability goes both ways. You can't expect people to keep you on track if you're not willing to do the same for them. This creates a powerful dynamic where everyone is lifting each other up. When you're both pushing each other forward, there's an energy that's hard to beat. You keep each other honest, you challenge each other, and you hold each other to a higher standard. This kind of relationship is like rocket fuel for your progress. But building a supportive network is not just about finding the right people, it's about becoming the right person. You can't expect to attract people who are focused, driven, and positive if you're not embodying those qualities yourself. You have to show up as the kind of person you want to surround yourself with. That means being someone who is reliable, who shows up consistently, and who genuinely cares about others' success. When you demonstrate these qualities, you naturally attract the kind of people who will lift you up and support your journey. It's also important to be strategic about where you find these people. Sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone and put yourself in environments where people who share your ambitions and values are likely to gather. This might mean joining masterminds, attending conferences, engaging in online communities, or even just reaching out to people who inspire you. Building a network is an active process. It's about putting yourself in places where you can connect with like-minded individuals and then nurturing those connections over time. Relationships take effort, but the reward is worth it. You have to be selective about who you let into your inner circle. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Be mindful of who you give your time and energy to. Some people will inspire you, lift you up, and help you stay focused. Others will drain you, distract you, and pull you off course. You need to be discerning and protective of your focus. The more you build a strong, supportive network, the more you'll see how much it contributes to your success. These are the people who will be there when you need them most, and their support will help you weather any storm that comes your way. Building a supportive network isn't just about being surrounded by people who believe in you. It's about finding people who will push you, challenge you, and help you stay focused on what truly matters. It's about creating a community where everyone holds each other accountable, lifts each other up, and moves forward together. When you have that kind of support, you're unstoppable. You have the power to stay on track, stay focused, and achieve things you once thought were impossible. This network becomes the backbone of your success, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to keep your focus sharp and your momentum going. Chapter 13. Handling distractions in real time. Imagine you're in the middle of an intense focus session, your mind locked on the task at hand, your body energized, and everything seems to be falling into place. And then, out of nowhere, a distraction hits. It could be something small, a notification on your phone, a sudden thought about a task you forgot to do, or even someone walking into the room, asking you a question. Before you know it, you're pulled away from the work that mattered. Now, you're standing at the edge of your productivity, trying to figure out how to get back to that powerful flow. What do you do? How do you stay on track? How do you handle those distractions in real time without letting them completely derail you? The truth is, distractions are everywhere. They're built into the world we live in. They're part of the landscape of modern life. Whether it's the constant buzzing of your phone, the pull of social media, or the pressure of other people's demands, distractions are a reality you can't escape. But the good news is, you can learn how to handle them. You can train yourself to stay in control, to remain focused even when the world around you is trying to pull you in a million different directions. It's about mastering the art of real-time focus, learning how to recognize distractions as they happen, and then swiftly returning your attention to what truly matters. Now, I'm not going to tell you that distractions are something you can completely eliminate. That would be unrealistic. Distractions are part of being human. They come with the territory. But what you can do is develop the mental tools, habits and strategies to handle them with precision and speed, so they don't have the power to throw you off course. The secret is in how you respond to those distractions in the moment. That's what separates the people who get stuff done from the people who constantly feel overwhelmed and scattered. It's all about how quickly you can refocus your energy and attention. The first step in handling distractions is developing an awareness of them. It's easy to get caught up in a distraction without even realizing it. You might think you're still focused, but if you're really honest with yourself, you'll realize that a part of your mind is no longer where it needs to be. That's why awareness is so crucial. The moment you sense that your attention is drifting, whether it's to a buzzing phone, a passing thought, or something someone just said, acknowledge it immediately. Recognize that you're being distracted. Don't try to ignore it or push it away. This is the first step to regaining control. The longer you let a distraction go unnoticed, the more power it has over you. Once you spot it, the battle is half won. Now, when you recognize that you're being distracted, the next move is simple, but powerful. You need to pause for a moment and take a deep breath. It sounds so basic, but this simple act of pausing can do wonders. It creates space between you and the distraction, allowing you to decide how you want to respond. You're no longer at the mercy of the distraction, you're in control. In that moment, you have the choice to either give in to it or return to the task at hand. And this is where the magic happens, the ability to make that choice. Once you've acknowledged the distraction and taken a breath, it's time to gently guide your attention back to where it belongs. The key word here is gently. Don't beat yourself up for being distracted. Don't get frustrated or angry. Just gently redirect your focus. Think of it like recentering yourself. You might tell yourself something like, "Okay, that was a distraction, but I'm back now, let's get to work." It's a calm, reaffirming thought that gets you back on track without unnecessary emotional turmoil. But here's where things get interesting. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to handle distractions in real time. At first it might feel like a struggle to get back into your work. You might think, it's impossible to get back in the zone. But over time, as you consistently apply this method, it gets easier and faster. You start to build resilience against distractions. Your ability to snap back to focus increases. And soon it's like you're an expert at handling distractions without breaking a sweat. The next level of handling distractions involves creating a system for minimizing them in the first place. While you can't eliminate every distraction, you can definitely reduce the number of them that pop up. For example, if you know that your phone constantly interrupts you, put it in another room, turn off notifications, or use apps that help you stay focused. If you're working in an environment where people frequently interrupt you, set clear boundaries and let them know when you need focused time. It's all about taking proactive steps to create an environment that supports your focus. In addition to minimizing external distractions, you also need to deal with internal distractions, those thoughts, worries or doubts that pop into your head when you're trying to concentrate. Internal distractions can be sneaky. They might not be as obvious as a phone buzzing, but they can be just as powerful. These distractions often arise when we're worried about something, like an upcoming deadline, a personal issue or a task we've been avoiding. The key here is to acknowledge those thoughts without letting them take over. Instead of pushing them away, just note them and tell yourself you'll deal with them later. This gives you permission to focus without the weight of your worries hanging over you. You can say to yourself, I'll address that issue after I finish this task. Right now, I need to focus on the work at hand. The more you practice this approach, the more you'll realize that handling distractions is about building a muscle of awareness, discipline and self-control. It's about being able to catch yourself when your mind starts to wander and immediately return to your task. It's about having the confidence to know that no distraction, no matter how big or small, can break your focus if you don't allow it to. One of the most powerful aspects of mastering distractions is the ability to use them as opportunities for growth. Every time you're distracted, it's a chance for you to strengthen your mental discipline. It's like a mini test that prepares you for the bigger challenges ahead. Instead of seeing distractions as setbacks, start viewing them as a reminder of how far you've come. Each time you return to your work, you're building the mental resilience necessary for greater focus and productivity in the future. Remember, distractions will always be a part of your journey, but how you handle them is what defines your success. By building awareness, pausing to reset and creating systems to minimize them, you'll find that distractions no longer have the same power over you. And soon enough you'll realize that staying focused in real time isn't just a skill, it's a mindset that can help you achieve anything you set your mind to. So the next time a distraction tries to pull you away, remember you have the power to stay in control, to stay focused and to keep pushing forward toward your goals. Chapter 14. Turning your focus into a superpower. Imagine a moment where your focus is so sharp, so laser-like, that nothing can break it. The world could be burning down around you, and yet you would remain calm, grounded, and deeply absorbed in what you're doing. There's no distraction that can touch you, no interruption that can pull you away from your task, because you've mastered the art of focus. And here's the most incredible part of it all. This kind of focus isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. A superpower that, once you harness it, can elevate your life in ways you never thought possible. This isn't about learning how to focus for a few minutes at a time, or struggling through distractions every 5 seconds. This is about training your mind to reach a level of focus where it becomes effortless, where you can tune out the noise of the world and put all your energy into what truly matters. It's about taking that laser focus and making it your competitive edge, your secret weapon in achieving the goals that others may dream about but can't quite seem to reach. So, how do you turn focus into a superpower? The answer lies in one simple concept: consistency. It's not enough to focus for just a few moments and then lose your grip on your attention. To turn your focus into something superhuman, you need to make focus a daily, unshakable habit. Every single day, you need to practice locking in, shutting out the noise, and making what's in front of you the most important thing in the world for however long it takes. It's the consistency of that practice that transforms focus into a superpower. Think about it. When you're fully focused, you're operating at your highest potential. Your brain is firing on all cylinders. Your productivity skyrockets. Your decision-making becomes sharper. Your creativity flows more freely. This isn't just about getting work done. This is about unlocking an entirely new level of your capabilities. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start solving problems with ease because your mind is in tune with the solution, not scattered across a million different things. But here's the catch. Focus doesn't come naturally to most of us. In a world full of distractions, we're taught to split our attention and juggle multiple tasks at once. We're bombarded with notifications, messages, and demands from all directions. But the truth is, multitasking is a myth. The human brain isn't designed to focus on several things at once. What we're really doing when we think we're multitasking is rapidly switching our attention from one thing to another, never truly giving any one task our full mental energy. And in that constant switching, our focus weakens. The key to turning focus into a superpower is learning to eliminate the distractions, block out the noise, and give your full attention to one task at a time. Here's the thing. People often think focus is something you either have or you don't. But that's simply not true. Focus is a skill, a muscle, and like any skill, it can be trained. You don't have to be born with it. You just need to practice it consistently, day in and day out, until it becomes second nature. This is where most people go wrong. They try to force focus, expecting it to work perfectly from the get-go. But focus is something that deepens over time. It's something you build with small, deliberate actions. Start by cutting out the distractions. When you sit down to work, make sure that your environment is optimized for focus. Turn off your phone, close irrelevant tabs on your computer, and eliminate anything that might divert your attention. It sounds simple, but this small step can make a world of difference. The less external noise there is, the easier it is for your mind to settle into a state of deep concentration. But eliminating distractions isn't enough. To truly turn your focus into a superpower, you have to train your brain to stay in that state for longer and longer periods of time. This is where the magic happens. The longer you stay focused, the more you tap into your potential. You'll notice that as you get better at staying focused, you begin to unlock new levels of creativity and productivity. You'll start getting more done in less time, and you'll do it with a sense of ease that others can only dream of. One of the most powerful ways to build and maintain focus is through daily practice. It's like building any other muscle. You need to work it out consistently if you want it to grow stronger. Start small. Set aside a period of time, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, where you dedicate yourself fully to one task. During that time, give it your all. Put everything else aside. Let your focus be single-minded, pure and unwavering. As you build that focus over time, you'll start to notice that those 15 minutes stretch into 30, then 45, and eventually, you'll be able to focus for hours without losing concentration. Now, one of the most powerful aspects of focus is its compounding effect. When you practice focus daily, its impact multiplies in ways you can't even predict. Your brain gets stronger, more adept at handling distractions, and more capable of locking into deep work for extended periods. And the best part, this enhanced focus doesn't just apply to your work or productivity, it spills over into other areas of your life. You become more present in your relationships, more attuned to your own well-being, and more in control of your decisions. The beauty of focus is that it empowers you to take back control of your time, your energy, and your life. When you're focused, you're unstoppable. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start, who doesn't get sidetracked by minor setbacks, and who stays the course even when things get tough. Focus gives you the ability to push through obstacles with clarity and purpose, which is exactly what you need when you're on the path to achieving big goals. And remember, turning focus into a superpower isn't just about being hyper-productive. It's about being present and intentional with your time. It's about doing what matters with purpose and depth. When you're focused, you're not just checking off tasks from a list, you're making meaningful progress toward your vision. Each moment of focus adds up to something bigger than just the task itself. It contributes to your growth, your success, and ultimately, the life you're building. So how do you turn your focus into a superpower? It's all about commitment. It's about showing up every day and deciding that you're going to put in the work to strengthen your ability to focus. It's about turning focus into a habit, a practice, a lifestyle. And once you do, you'll find that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. You'll be the one who achieves what others think is impossible, the one who remains calm and collected while everyone else is distracted, the one who makes the impossible look effortless. Focus is your superpower, and once you unlock it, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 15. Cultivating Patience in a Fast-Paced World. We live in a world that moves faster than any of us can keep up with. Every second there's a new notification, a new email, a new demand. The world tells us that if we aren't constantly moving, constantly achieving, constantly making progress, then we're falling behind. We've been conditioned to believe that speed equals success, that the faster we go, the more we can get done, the more we can accomplish, and the more we can prove our worth. But here's the truth. Real progress doesn't always happen at breakneck speed. In fact, the most meaningful, lasting success often requires the one thing we're taught to avoid: patience. The ability to cultivate patience in a fast-paced world is more powerful than you could ever imagine, and here's why. Patience is not about being passive or complacent. It's not about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. Patience is the ability to endure without giving up, to stay committed and focused even when the results aren't immediate. It's about trusting that your efforts are building towards something greater, even when it feels like nothing is happening. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, patience is an art that needs to be nurtured, developed, and protected. The truth is, patience is the secret weapon that separates those who succeed from those who burn out and give up. It's the quiet force that keeps you grounded when everything else seems chaotic. Now, cultivating patience in a world that demands constant action isn't easy. It's a skill that requires practice, self-awareness, and the ability to quiet the noise around you. It's easy to feel like you're not doing enough when everyone around you seems to be racing toward their goals, posting their accomplishments on social media, or getting ahead in ways that make you feel like you're falling behind. But let me tell you something. Your journey is unique, and it doesn't have to follow anyone else's timeline. In fact, rushing through life will only leave you exhausted, burned out, and unfulfilled. Real growth, whether it's personal, professional, or spiritual, takes time. And time requires patience. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. In fact, you don't need to rush through your journey just to keep up with others. Instead, focus on building a solid foundation. Focus on consistency, on showing up every day and doing the work, even when you don't see immediate results. This is where patience starts. It starts with trusting the process and believing that every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to where you need to be. It's about understanding that growth happens in layers, not overnight. Patience teaches you to value the process as much as the outcome, to embrace the challenges and setbacks as part of the journey, not as obstacles that are trying to hold you back. In today's fast-paced world, it's tempting to look for shortcuts or easy solutions. We want to achieve success now, and we want it in the easiest way possible. But the truth is, the best things in life take time. Whether it's mastering a skill, building a meaningful relationship, or creating something impactful, the process is just as important as the end result. Patience teaches you to savor the journey, to learn from the ups and downs, and to appreciate every small victory along the way. It allows you to maintain perspective, to avoid getting lost in the rush, and to stay grounded in what truly matters. So how do you begin cultivating patience in a world that constantly pressures you to move faster? It starts with shifting your mindset. Instead of focusing on what's not happening yet, focus on what you're doing right now. Instead of looking at your goals and thinking about how far away they are, look at the progress you've already made. Celebrate every small step, every bit of growth, because those small steps add up to something much bigger over time. Don't measure your success based on how quickly you get there. Measure it by how much you're learning, how much you're growing, and how much you're evolving in the process. Another key element of cultivating patience is letting go of the need for control. In our fast-paced world, we often feel like we have to control everything: our time, our results, our circumstances. We set deadlines, create plans, and try to force things to happen on our own timeline. But true patience requires surrender. It requires the understanding that some things are simply out of our control, and that's okay. You can't rush life or force the universe to move at your pace. What you can do is focus on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, your attitude. When you let go of the need to control everything, you free yourself to experience life more fully and with greater peace. You stop stressing about what's not happening yet and start appreciating what is happening right now. Patience also requires developing emotional resilience. In a world that's constantly changing and often unpredictable, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. You might feel like you're stuck, or that progress is moving slower than you'd like. But patience isn't about waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about learning to stay calm and focused, even when things aren't going according to plan. When you cultivate emotional resilience, you stop letting setbacks and failures define you. Instead, you use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and adjust your approach. This kind of resilience is what allows you to keep going, even when things get tough, because you know that your hard work will eventually pay off. You also need to be patient with yourself. In a world that glorifies hustle and non-stop achievement, it's easy to forget that you're human. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be on top of everything all the time. It's okay to have setbacks, to slow down, and to give yourself permission to take breaks when needed. Patience means being kind to yourself, acknowledging your progress, and not beating yourself up when things don't go as planned. It's about understanding that you are on your own unique path, and that comparing yourself to others only robs you of your own peace and potential. The beauty of patience is that it allows you to enjoy life more fully. It teaches you to savor the moments, to appreciate the process, and to find joy in the everyday steps toward your goals. When you cultivate patience, you stop rushing through life and start living it more fully. You begin to understand that success isn't about speed, it's about consistency, commitment, and the ability to keep going even when the finish line seems far away. Life isn't a race, and the most meaningful things in life often take time to cultivate. Patience allows you to embrace that truth, to trust the process, and to move forward with confidence, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. So when the world around you seems to be moving at 1,000 miles an hour, take a deep breath. Trust the process. Remind yourself that good things take time, and that the patience you're cultivating today will pay off in ways you can't even imagine yet. Be kind to yourself. Stay focused, and remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. When you let go of the need for instant results, you open yourself up to a life that is not only more fulfilling but more meaningful as well. You are exactly where you need to be. And patience is the key that will help you unlock your fullest potential. Chapter 16. Developing emotional intelligence to manage stress. Emotions can either be your greatest allies or your toughest adversaries. The difference between someone who thrives under pressure and someone who crumbles often comes down to one thing: emotional intelligence. When life throws challenges at us, it's easy to get caught up in the chaos, to feel overwhelmed, or to let stress consume us. But what if you could take control of your emotions, navigate those stresses with calm and clarity, and use your emotional energy to fuel your growth? That's exactly what developing emotional intelligence allows you to do. It's the key to managing stress in a world that constantly demands more from us, and it can transform the way you handle every challenge that comes your way. When you think about emotional intelligence, think of it as a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel stressed. It's about understanding what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how to respond in a way that serves you. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and understand your emotions, to manage them effectively, and to use that awareness to communicate, empathize, and navigate life's ups and downs with more resilience and control. Developing emotional intelligence doesn't mean you won't ever feel stress again, but it does mean you'll be able to handle it in a way that doesn't derail your progress, your mindset, or your well-being. Stress, when it's unmanaged, can be overwhelming. It can cause physical tension, mental fatigue, and emotional exhaustion. It can cloud your judgment, making it harder to think clearly or make decisions. But emotional intelligence gives you the tools to recognize when you're stressed and to take immediate action to calm yourself down. It's about becoming aware of your stress triggers and understanding how your emotions affect your behavior. Once you can identify those emotions and understand the underlying causes, you can choose how to respond instead of reacting impulsively. And that's where the real power lies. Imagine facing a stressful situation. Maybe it's a tight deadline, a disagreement with a colleague, or an unexpected setback, and instead of feeling overwhelmed, you stay calm. You breathe through the tension, acknowledge your emotions, and then make a conscious choice about how to proceed. Instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions, you're in control, and that's how you start turning stress into an opportunity for growth. Emotional intelligence allows you to step back and create space between what happens to you and how you react to it, and in that space you have the power to choose your response. One of the core components of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. This is the ability to observe your emotions without judgment, to notice when you're feeling stressed, anxious, or frustrated, and to pause long enough to identify the source of those emotions. When you're self-aware, you can pinpoint the exact moment stress starts to build up. Maybe it's when you're facing a challenge at work, when you feel pressure from expectations, or when things start to pile up and you don't know where to begin. Self-awareness gives you the ability to catch these emotions in real time before they escalate into something bigger. It's like being able to spot a storm on the horizon before it hits, giving you the time and space to prepare and adjust your mindset. Once you've identified the emotions you're feeling, the next step is emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is about managing your emotions in a way that allows you to stay balanced, focused, and clear-headed, even in stressful situations. It's about understanding that emotions are not the enemy, they're a natural part of being human, but that you don't have to let them take over your thoughts or your actions. When you have strong emotional intelligence, you can redirect your emotional energy and choose how to express those emotions in a constructive way. Whether it's taking a deep breath, going for a walk, or using mindfulness techniques to center yourself, emotional regulation helps you stay calm and grounded when stress threatens to overwhelm you. But emotional intelligence doesn't stop at self-awareness and regulation. The next level is empathy, being able to understand and share the feelings of others. In stressful situations, we often get so focused on our own emotions that we forget to consider the emotions of those around us. Empathy is what allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, to understand their perspective, and to respond in a way that fosters cooperation and collaboration instead of conflict. When you practice empathy, you not only improve your relationships with others, but also gain greater insight into how stress affects those around you, which can help you manage your own emotions in those interactions. Managing stress isn't just about controlling your own emotions, it's about creating a positive environment for everyone involved. When you develop emotional intelligence, you can navigate tense situations with ease, diffuse conflicts before they escalate, and create a sense of calm, even in the midst of chaos. This is especially powerful when you're leading a team or working closely with others, because it helps you build trust, foster understanding, and create a culture of emotional resilience. Another important aspect of emotional intelligence is motivation. When you're stressed, it's easy to get discouraged or lose sight of your goals. You might feel like you're running out of time or that you're not making progress fast enough. But emotional intelligence helps you tap into your intrinsic motivation, the internal drive that pushes you forward, even when the going gets tough. When you develop emotional intelligence, you can stay focused on your long-term vision, use setbacks as learning opportunities, and find meaning in the challenges you face. Motivation becomes a tool that helps you push through the discomfort of stress instead of letting it derail you. Stress is inevitable, it's part of life. But the way you handle it is completely in your control. Developing emotional intelligence allows you to manage stress with clarity, confidence, and resilience. It helps you stay grounded when everything around you seems chaotic, and it enables you to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and purpose. When you cultivate emotional intelligence, stress no longer has the power to control you. Instead, you take control of your emotions, and in doing so you transform stress from a force that holds you back into a tool that helps you grow, evolve, and succeed. The more you practice emotional intelligence, the more you'll discover just how powerful you are when you can stay calm, stay focused, and manage your emotions in any situation. This is how you not only manage stress but turn it into your greatest ally. Chapter 17. Harnessing the power of visualization to stay focused. Imagine closing your eyes and seeing exactly where you want to be. Feel the energy coursing through your body as you picture yourself reaching your goal, whether it's finishing a project, getting that promotion, or living your best life. Now, What if I told you that the power to manifest that vision is already within you? The key is visualization, a tool that is not just for dreamers, but for doers. Visualization is a technique that the most successful people in the world use to stay focused, stay on track, and achieve extraordinary results. It's not about wishful thinking, it's about using your mind's power to bring your goals into sharper focus, guiding you through every step with a laser-like precision that propels you forward. This isn't some woo-woo concept, it's backed by science, and it can be your secret weapon to unlocking your true potential. Think of visualization like a blueprint for your success. When you build a house, you don't just randomly put pieces together, you follow a detailed plan that guides every action. Visualization works the same way. By clearly imagining your end result, you give your brain a clear target to aim for. It's like setting the coordinates for a destination you want to reach. The more vividly and precisely you can imagine yourself achieving your goals, the more your mind starts to believe that it's already happening. That belief drives you to take the right actions, make better decisions, and stay focused on what matters most. Visualization doesn't just make you feel good, it sharpens your focus, fuels your determination, and keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough. It's easy to get lost in the noise of daily life, to feel distracted by the endless tasks and responsibilities that pull you in different directions. But when you make visualization a regular practice, you create a mental compass that helps you stay on course. Picture this, you're in the middle of a stressful day, and you can feel your focus slipping away. Instead of getting caught in the whirlwind, you take a moment to close your eyes, breathe, and visualize the outcome you're striving for. You see it in vivid detail, the feeling of accomplishment, the satisfaction of hitting your target, the joy of seeing your hard work pay off. That vision becomes a magnetic force, pulling you back to your purpose, helping you block out the distractions, and guiding you back to what really matters. Visualization is more than just a mental exercise. It engages your emotions, your senses, and your deepest desires. The more sensory-rich your visualization, the more real it feels to your brain. It's not just about seeing an image in your mind, it's about feeling the emotions tied to that success, hearing the sounds, smelling the scents, and even tasting the victory. When you immerse yourself in this mental experience, your brain starts to believe that what you're visualizing is possible. It starts to prepare you for success in ways you may not even fully understand. When you feel the excitement of winning before it happens, your body reacts as though it's already happening. That's where the real power lies. Now, the magic of visualization doesn't stop there. It's not just about seeing the end result, it's about seeing the process too. Imagine walking through the steps required to reach your goal. Picture yourself overcoming challenges, solving problems, and persevering through setbacks. Visualization helps you mentally rehearse your journey, so when you face obstacles in real life, you're already prepared. It's like a mental workout that strengthens your ability to handle anything that comes your way. The more you visualize yourself pushing through adversity, the more confident you become in your ability to actually do it. But here's the most powerful part of visualization. It fuels your belief in yourself. When you can clearly see yourself succeeding, you build unshakable confidence. It's no longer a question of whether or not you can do it. In your mind, it's already done. And that confidence translates into action. When you visualize your success, you're not just dreaming about it, you're programming your mind to act as if it's already a reality. And when your actions align with that belief, success becomes inevitable. Every decision you make, every step you take, is guided by the clear, unwavering vision you've created in your mind. Here's the thing, people often underestimate how powerful the mind is in shaping reality. Visualization isn't some abstract concept, it's a real tangible tool that has been used by athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers for decades. It's the reason why Olympic athletes mentally rehearse their routines before they perform. It's why top executives visualize their companies achieving success before they take action. Visualization primes your brain for success by activating the same neural pathways that are involved in actual performance. The more you visualize, the more you strengthen those pathways, making it easier for you to execute in real life. But you can't just visualize once and expect everything to fall into place. Visualization is most powerful when it becomes a daily habit. Like any skill, it takes practice to master. The more you visualize, the clearer your goals become, and the easier it is to stay focused on the actions that will bring them to life. Make it a part of your morning routine. Take 5 minutes every day to close your eyes and visualize your success. See the outcome, feel the emotions, and walk through the process. The more vividly and consistently you do this, the more your brain starts to align itself with that vision. Over time, it becomes second nature. When you harness the power of visualization, you unlock a whole new level of focus and determination. You no longer drift through life, reacting to circumstances. Instead, you're actively shaping your reality. Your vision becomes the driving force behind everything you do. It keeps you focused, even when distractions threaten to pull you off course. And the best part, visualization is completely free. It doesn't require expensive tools or special training. All you need is your mind, a clear vision of what you want, and the belief that it's possible. The power is already within you. So, as you move forward, start incorporating visualization into your daily routine. Let it become the tool that guides your focus, fuels your determination, and keeps you aligned with your goals. When you can see it in your mind, you can create it in your life. The power of visualization is waiting for you to tap into it, and once you do, there will be no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 18. Staying committed to the process. You've got the vision, the motivation, and the drive to make it happen. You're pumped up, ready to take on the world, but let me tell you something. It's not the vision that will get you to your destination. It's the commitment to the process that will. Anyone can have a dream, but only those who are willing to stay committed to the journey, through the ups and the downs, will truly transform their lives. And here's the thing, commitment isn't about working hard for a week or a month and then giving up when things get tough. Commitment is the long haul. It's about showing up every single day, even when the road seems unclear, when the path gets tough, and when the results don't show up as fast as you want them to. This is what separates the successful from the ones who fall off track. It's not the quick wins that define us. It's the consistent effort put in over time that builds greatness. Staying committed to the process requires discipline. It's about having the strength to keep going when everything in your mind is telling you to quit. The journey might not always be smooth, and some days you'll wonder if it's even worth it. But let me remind you, no one who ever accomplished anything great got there by quitting halfway. The people you admire, the ones who seem to always have their life together, are not just lucky, they are committed. They have faced obstacles and challenges, but they didn't stop when things got hard. They didn't let temporary frustration or setbacks define them. They committed themselves to the process, one small action at a time, and that's what propelled them forward. What happens when you get frustrated? You're working so hard, pushing yourself, yet it feels like you're not making any progress. The results aren't coming as quickly as you thought, and doubt starts creeping in. This is where most people fall off. They start to think that if it's not happening fast, it's not happening at all. They lose faith, they lose focus, and they lose momentum. But the key here is remembering that progress isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's the small, seemingly insignificant steps you take that are laying the foundation for something massive. And those tiny steps can only come from staying committed to the process, even when it seems like you're not getting anywhere. The results might not always be visible, but that doesn't mean they aren't happening. Sometimes the real growth is happening behind the scenes, in ways that we can't see immediately. The commitment is what keeps you moving forward, even when you don't see the immediate rewards. In the moments when it feels like you're putting in all this effort and getting little in return, remind yourself of this truth. Every bit of effort you put in is shaping who you are becoming. The person you are right now is not the person you will be in a year if you stay committed. If you stay dedicated to your goals, if you keep pushing through, you will look back at these days and realize they were the foundation of your success. It might seem difficult to imagine now, but every day you stay consistent is a day closer to the person you want to be. The process isn't easy, but that's the point. It's meant to challenge you, to test your limits, and to help you grow in ways you never thought possible. Staying committed is what transforms you from someone who dreams about success into someone who lives it. There's power in the grind. In fact, the process is the secret weapon. It's the moments of perseverance, of staying true to your commitment, that forge your character and develop your resilience. It's not about the shortcuts or the easy wins. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're unsure of yourself. Those are the moments that shape your future. Success doesn't come to those who sit back and wait for things to fall into their lap. Success comes to those who show up, day in and day out, committed to the process, no matter how long it takes. Understand that the process is the real work. When we talk about success, we often think of the big wins, the moment when everything finally comes together. But it's the journey, the hours spent working quietly behind the scenes, that make those big moments possible. It's about keeping your eye on the goal, but being present with the process. Each small step is a victory in itself. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about taking action, no matter how imperfect it may seem. Progress doesn't have to be perfect to be real, it just has to be consistent. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep believing in the process. Eventually you'll look back and realize how far you've come. And when you do, you'll understand that the process was just as important as the outcome. The truth is, most people give up too soon. They expect instant results, and when those results don't come immediately, they quit. They believe they're not cut out for it, or that it's just not meant to be. But here's what they don't understand: success is built over time. The most successful people aren't the ones who hit it big in a moment. They are the ones who kept showing up, no matter how tough the journey was. They knew that staying committed to the process was the only way to make their dreams a reality. If you can adopt that same mindset, if you can commit to the process for the long haul, you'll realize that your growth is inevitable. Your results will come, but they will come at the perfect time, when you've put in the work and are ready for them. Commitment to the process is about more than just the tasks you complete each day. It's about how you approach challenges, how you see obstacles, and how you respond to setbacks. Are you going to let one rough day or one setback convince you that it's not worth it? Or will you keep going, knowing that the process is leading you somewhere incredible? The way you handle these moments will define your future. The more committed you are, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you become, the more you realize that there's no such thing as failure, only opportunities to learn and grow. Commitment is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Every moment you stay dedicated, every day you stay committed, is a step toward your success. It's not always glamorous, and it's not always easy. But when you make the decision to stay committed to the process, you are choosing the long-term rewards over the short-term distractions. And trust me, the rewards will be worth every bit of effort you put in. Don't give up on the process. Don't stop showing up. Stay committed, and your success will unfold one step at a time. Chapter 19. Celebrating milestones and reflecting on growth. There is so much power in acknowledging how far you've come, even when the journey feels like it's just beginning. You've been grinding, pushing through each day, overcoming obstacles, and stepping into a version of yourself you never thought possible. But here's the thing, too many people get caught up in what's next, in the next challenge, the next goal, the next mountain to climb. And while that's important, there's something equally important that often gets overlooked: celebrating where you are right now and taking the time to reflect on everything you've already achieved. Every small win counts. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. And if you're so focused on the finish line that you forget to appreciate how far you've come, you're missing a crucial part of the process. It's about recognizing the growth, the challenges you've conquered, the lessons you've learned, and the person you are becoming. All too often, we only see the finish line. But the truth is, every little milestone along the way is worth celebrating, because they are what add up to the final victory. So let's talk about celebrating those milestones. Milestones aren't just big, shiny moments like finishing a project or landing a dream job. They can be small, seemingly insignificant things: waking up early to work on your goals, resisting the urge to quit when things got tough, or just being consistent when everything in you wanted to give up. These are the victories that build momentum, that create the foundation for something greater. These are the moments that deserve recognition. You've come a long way, and those small wins add up in ways that will surprise you over time. The real power lies in the ability to see them, to recognize them, and to celebrate them as part of your bigger picture. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that only the big wins matter. But what if the key to long-term success is built on appreciating the little wins along the way? What if the most significant breakthroughs happen when you give yourself credit for each step you take? This is how you stay motivated. This is how you keep the fire burning. If you're always focused on the end goal, it's easy to burn out, because you're never truly allowing yourself to feel the satisfaction of progress. The journey can start to feel endless if you never take a moment to stop, breathe, and recognize how far you've come. Reflection is equally as important as celebration. You don't have to wait for someone else to acknowledge your progress. You can do it for yourself. Taking time to reflect on what you've accomplished not only brings a sense of gratitude, but it also helps you see how much you've changed. It's important to look back at where you started and realize that every struggle, every challenge, and every setback was an opportunity to grow. When you reflect on your growth, you begin to understand that it wasn't the easy moments that shaped you, it was the tough ones. The times when you wanted to quit but kept going anyway. The times when things didn't go as planned, but you adapted. Those are the moments that make you stronger. Those are the milestones that matter most. Reflection allows you to see the bigger picture. When you're in the middle of a challenge, it can feel like nothing is changing, like nothing is improving. But when you take a step back and reflect, you'll see how much you've grown, how much more resilient you've become, and how much more capable you are than when you first started. Reflection gives you the perspective you need to appreciate your journey, to see the lessons you've learned, and to recognize your true potential. It's an essential part of the process because it helps you connect the dots between where you were and where you are now. It's easy to let the stress of everyday life distract you from your own growth. You're constantly on the go, working toward the next thing, and sometimes it feels like you're just moving through life without really seeing how much you've accomplished. But what if you could take a moment each day to reflect, to celebrate those small wins and acknowledge how far you've come? The truth is, life isn't just about reaching goals, it's about appreciating the journey, celebrating the progress, and being grateful for how far you've come. The moment you start to do that is the moment you unlock the key to sustaining long-term motivation and fulfillment. So take a moment today to look back. Don't just look at the finish line, look at the path you've walked to get there. Every struggle, every challenge, every small victory, those are the things that will make the success even sweeter. Celebrating milestones and reflecting on growth doesn't just make you feel good, it's the fuel that propels you forward. It's the reminder that you are capable, that you have what it takes, and that you're on the right path. And as you reflect on all that you've accomplished, you'll see how much more is possible when you keep showing up, when you stay committed to the process, and when you take the time to celebrate what you've already achieved. The truth is, growth happens over time. It's a gradual process that isn't always obvious. But when you stop to look back, you'll realize just how much has changed. And when you celebrate those changes, no matter how small they seem, you'll find that the journey becomes more rewarding. Keep celebrating your wins, big and small. Keep reflecting on how far you've come. Because when you do that, you not only stay motivated, but you also give yourself the power to keep going. The person you are today is proof of the work you've already put in, and the person you'll be tomorrow is the result of the work you're doing right now. Celebrate that and keep moving forward. Chapter 20. Focus as a lifelong habit. If you can harness it, there's nothing that can stand in your way. Focus is not just a tool you use occasionally when things get tough. It's a way of life, a skill you sharpen, a muscle you build every single day. It's easy to think that focus is something you either have or you don't, but in reality, focus is a habit. It's a choice you make every moment of every day. And if you can make focus a lifelong habit, then you're already one step ahead of most people. Because the world is full of distractions, constant, overwhelming distractions that pull you in every direction. But the people who succeed, the ones who build lasting legacies, are the ones who have mastered the art of focus. When you make focus a part of your daily life, you unlock the door to something incredible. It's not just about getting things done, it's about getting the right things done. In a world full of noise, the ability to focus is one of the most valuable skills you can cultivate. It's what allows you to cut through the clutter, block out the distractions, and zero in on what truly matters. And it's a skill that, once developed, will continue to serve you throughout your life. Because let's face it, distractions are everywhere. The moment you wake up, there's a flood of information coming at you, pulling your attention in a million different directions. From social media notifications, to emails, to the constant barrage of news, it's easy to get swept up in it all. But focus gives you the power to take control of your mind, to direct your energy toward the things that truly move you forward. Focus is not just about discipline, it's about clarity. When you are focused, you can see exactly what you need to do, and you're able to prioritize it above all else. You stop wasting time on the things that don't matter. The more you practice focus, the sharper it becomes, and the more you'll realize that it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. By cultivating focus as a lifelong habit, you're setting yourself up to succeed, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. You're creating a foundation that will carry you through every stage of life. But here's the truth: focus isn't easy, it takes practice. It requires you to be intentional about how you spend your time and energy, and it demands that you constantly guard against the things that want to take you off course. But the more you commit to focus, the easier it becomes. The key is to start small. You don't need to make a huge change overnight. You don't need to go from being distracted all the time to suddenly being a laser-sharp productivity machine. It's a gradual process. Start with one task at a time. Focus on completing that task without checking your phone, without letting your mind wander, and without giving in to the distractions around you. And as you practice, you'll find that focus starts to bleed into every other area of your life. You'll find yourself being more present with your family, more engaged in your work, and more connected to your goals. The power of focus is that it allows you to fully immerse yourself in whatever you're doing, to give it your undivided attention, and to see it through to completion. And when you start to experience the results of that kind of focused effort, you'll be hooked. You'll realize that there is nothing more fulfilling than seeing the fruits of your hard work and attention. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who are able to focus. They've learned how to filter out the distractions, how to put their energy into the things that matter, and how to stay consistent in their pursuit of their goals. And this doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they've made focus a habit. It's a skill they've developed over time, through trial and error, through moments of failure, and through the practice of constantly choosing focus over distraction. And here's the most incredible thing: the more you make focus a habit, the more it becomes second nature. At first it may feel like a struggle. You may find yourself constantly checking your phone or drifting off in the middle of a task, but over time, you'll notice that your ability to concentrate improves. You'll find that your mind becomes less cluttered, your attention spans longer, and your ability to execute on your goals stronger. The process of developing focus is like training a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it becomes. But focus doesn't just benefit you in terms of productivity. It also impacts your mental and emotional well-being. When you're focused, you're more present in the moment, and that presence brings a sense of peace and clarity. You're not constantly jumping from one thing to the next, feeling overwhelmed and anxious. Instead, you're grounded in what you're doing, fully engaged in the task at hand. That's where real fulfillment lies. It's not in the hustle, the grind, or the endless pursuit of more. It's in the ability to focus on what matters most, to be present, and to give your best effort in everything you do. Over time, as focus becomes more of a habit, you'll notice that you're able to achieve more in less time. You'll find that you're able to handle challenges with a clearer mind and a steadier hand. And you'll begin to see the results of your efforts in ways you never imagined. Success doesn't always look like it's happening in real time, but when you stay committed to focus, the results will eventually